Greetings, everybody. Well, what? Happy Emancipendence.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to start.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Unheard, our podcast here. I am Verol Billett,
I'm Jason Henry.
and so we're here yet again. So if you have been listening to us, whether you've been listening to our full episodes, which I hope you have been, or you've been enjoying the shorts, enjoying the guests that we've had thus far. We've had two, David and Stephen.
Right?
Just like, share, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate it. We really like the interactions that we've been having. Persons have been sharing their likings for what we do. They've been saying it to us.
And they share it with others as well.
Right. So just show the love in the likes, the sharing, the subscribing. I really hope that it really does help people out there, and I think it has been. Well, persons have said that has been very good. So
Must be doing something, right?
something. So yeah, we're here yet again. For today's episode, though, it's an interesting. I think we have an interesting start, I guess.
Yeah.
In that, so the latter part of this week, this would have been Thursday, there were reports of about three men. It seems as if they completed suicide. Okay? About three men.
Right.
Two persons in their 40s, two men in their 40s, one in their early 20s, two suicide by hanging, and the other one a gunshot wound to the head. And for me, that was sad.
It's startling. I must admit. No, I was saying it was startling.
Starting.
Yeah.
And it just, well, for me, when I heard it, I'm like, oh, and I can't say another one, three. Because at first I heard about the businessman. That one made headlines on Instagram.
Okay.
And then by the end of the day, I heard about the other two.
I see.
And I'm like, okay. June we had Male Mental Health Awareness Month. Granted, based on the reports, the investigators, from my understanding, putting that there, it seems as if these men committed suicide. If it is that they did, we celebrated Male Mental Health Awareness Month
In June.
And I'm like, okay, the work continues.
Absolutely.
It's not just a month and it's all done.
Right.
And we don't wait again until November.
Next year.
No, but November, when we have International Men's Day.
Oh, okay. Fair.
Right? Or we don't wait until September when it is Suicide Awareness Month. It's a continuous conversation that we should have, especially among us as men, I feel, Jason. We ought not to leave it up to anybody else, but we need to take up the mantle and do our part in helping ourselves be better. Now, granted, I don't know what was happening. If it is that they did complete suicide, I don't know what was happening.
Yeah,
Nobody
we don't have
knows.
the details yet.
But just the mere thought that this possibly could be the reality,
Right.
it is very unsettling. And so it's time that we become more active, proactive, in fact, to care for ourselves.
Yep. So I think we're doing our part in just trying to help kind of, impart some knowledge, but also kind of shedding some light on it. Because, obviously, it will make headlines because 3 in 1 day is alarming. That's not typical at all. So if 3 people felt the need to do this, to take such a drastic measure, it does kind of make you question who else is out there silently suffering, or maybe even loudly suffering, but they're not getting the help. So, yeah.
And just to also share that I completely understand that for us as men, a lot of us as men, our focus in whatever crisis that is happening in our lives, our focus is how do we solve the problems? What are the practical solutions that we can put in place, the steps to get this done, get this done.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're problem solvers. A lot of us are wired that way.
Yeah.
And so we tend to leave the emotional component at this, behind.
Mm-hmm.
And if it is that if we can't see clearly a way out of this dark hole or this problem,
Right.
that oftentimes we kind of, I don't know, we kind of see it as this thing on the outside of us. Then it's like, all right, all hope is gone.
That's exactly it. I mean, I feel like a lot of suicidality does stem from like that abject hopelessness, helplessness. And so it's kind of like, well, in addition to just the shame, that chronic shame that basically causes one to basically be like, look, I cannot or should not live anymore. Because it's like, it has gotten so bad that you can't live with yourself anymore. And so it's tricky because I don't want to make it seem like, some women don't also take their lives.
But the stats say that more men are
More
doing
men are doing it.
it.
So it clearly shows that there's like a certain like tolerance that has been completely like just blown through, and it gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, this is the end. But I think maybe what we should maybe talk about, well, I mean, you started off with talking about how would you phrase it? The you were saying like the emotional aspect of it?
Oh, I was saying that as for a lot of us as men, we tend to
The problem solving part of
we
it,
tend to
right?
be very, yeah, problem oriented. How do we solve this problem? And we tend to, in my opinion, kind of leave that emotional aspect on back burner.
So let's talk about that. Where does that start for a boy?
Yeah, we've been through this.
We have, but we need to talk about it.
It starts from childhood. How are we taught to solve problems? Well, leave the emotions to the side. Yeah, man, face up to the situation or stand up to the problem. Man up, figure it out, cut and go through, all those things.
Yeah. I mean, I think also when a boy has a problem, he's no different from a girl. He will cry. Instinctively, that is what happens first.
If he's hurt, he's hurt.
Exactly.
If a girl is hurt, she's hurt.
Exactly. So the natural response is to cry
As a
out.
human being, is to cry
There
when
you
you're
go.
hurt.
Exactly. And so clearly something happens between the appropriate action of crying out, asking for help, and then when you become whether a child or a teen or an adult, where you then are like needing to figure it out on my own. So I think maybe part of it, I mean, well, there are clearly like multiple factors. I think maybe one factor is there's like a certain social learning aspect to it. There's modeling, male modeling, where it's kind of like, look, so I'm looking at other men or my older brothers. They're not asking for help. They're just trying to figure it out on their own. Even my mother might tell me, yo, tough it out, hold up your stress, da 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 da
You
da.
need help for sort it out.
You're a big boy now.
You have to build up yourself.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
So there's that. But I think also it's not even necessarily learned. It's something that you almost like kind of trick yourself into. I'll do some more self-disclosure because it's fun, I guess. But I remember like I was at school and I remember falling on the playground and I pretty much like cut up my knee. And I was in pain. Like it was like radiating through my leg. But at the same time, I was like, you know what would be really good? To not cry. So let's not do that. So let's instead pretend to cry when I'm really crying and then just jump up like, oh, I'm fine. Everything's good. And then everyone was like, oh, he's fine. Okay, cool. But I'm like limping. Yeah. Because you don't want people to, I didn't want people to see that I was in pain and then
just walk
be
it
weak.
off. Just walk it off.
Yeah. I limped it off. So, yeah.
But yes, fun and joke aside, that's kind of like the mindset I think a lot of us have,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll use both had because some of us have found ways to just kind of reject that or not walk that path anymore. Because I know crying, you could not see me cry. Right? I would not admit to crying.
Because people would shame you for crying. Like you saw other people shame people for crying.
And you have been shamed, and you're right. You see other persons get shamed for crying as a man, as a boy, and the whole aspect of asking for help. That one, going through something, and nobody knows. Nobody knows, and I've had to kind of drip up myself to say, I do have people around me who I know for a fact they genuinely care. I know for a fact that they love me unconditionally. I know for a fact that they won't judge. Why in hell am I suffering in silence? And that's a conversation that I've had with myself. But the reality is sometimes I fall back and I have friends who they're able to call me out on it and say, well, no, you're not fine because your patterns have changed, or right? And so, or they know what things that have been happening in my life that are stressors, and so they'll ease back, but they'll check in and they'll say, you're not good. Don't tell me that bull to say you're good or you're no. Right? And so there's no allowance for that, but I have to remind myself that it's okay to say, I need help. And the funny thing is, Jason, if they want help, they don't have to fully say it out of their mouth.
You're there.
I'm there. I'm there. So if I'm willing to give, why can't I receive?
What is the
answer?
answer?
In that way,
Yeah.
receive the help.
So what is the answer?
I have to check myself.
Okay.
I have to remind myself that, hey, you're not alone. You can be vulnerable. You can say, I'm not feeling strong in this moment. I am not able to show up as I usually do. I need rest. I need a break. Can you take up the mantle and continue because I can't right now.
Right.
I need a hug.
Yeah.
When was the last time you tell somebody say you need a hug?
But you see, you even bringing up the hug thing, like in the context of just like Jamaica, or just as like black people, or even just as men, you know, it's one of those things where it's like, how many people even have an environment where, as a man, they can ask for a hug and it's not seen as like gay?
That is true, and it's unfortunate because for me, most of my close male friends when we see each other will hug.
That's good.
And because the reality is, those are my brothers, yo. If you're close to me, you're my brother.
So it really should be like something more normal, something more normative, and you know, maybe one of the steps. Sorry to cut you. I know you're about to say something.
No, it's fine.
But one of the things I think, like when it comes to just like contemporary Jamaican culture, like we do have like the hand gestures, like we have certain things to show connection.
And it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't really expect that everybody are huggers.
True.
The
Yeah.
reality is I'm not going to just go up and hug
Like every single.
everybody.
Yeah.
Because there are persons who don't like hugs, and that's fine. But you used the word connection. What is it that you can do to build and maintain genuine connection?
Okay. Are we dovetailing into the friendship part?
I think so.
Okay. We can do that.
All right. Side note. So for every episode, Jason and I have a little conversation about what the episode is going to be about.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more on my side.
Most times. Most times.
I come up with some wacky something and say, all right, let's throw this in first, and then Jason just have to work with it.
It's a good suggestion. So I don't mind it, yeah.
So that's what this is. And so the topic for today really is friendships. As men, do we have genuine friendships? What is friendship like? What is friendship? What is friendship like among males? I should have continued that, right? But what is friendship? Right. I think that we see a lot of representation of what friendship is among males here in Jamaica, but have we looked at it? And I think one of the other things too, I feel like I'm talking a lot. But anyways, one of the other things too, I think I've heard more women do this than males. Compare female friendship to male friendship. In that females will say, oh, they know all the details. We see it on social media. Birthdays, different anniversaries, children's names and their schools and the teachers, the ages, and
they're very involved. Yeah.
They're very involved. They share a lot. But among men, well, I should talk to your brother 2 weeks ago.
And that's not bad. That's not bad for a lot of people.
And then, okay, so when is your brethren's, this is your brethren from donkey years.
From grade 1.
When is your brethren's birthday?
You're born my youth, me never know.
Why would I need to know that? Am I right? Okay. But I don't think it's that drastic for us here in Jamaica, to be honest, because birthdays are a huge deal for many people. Not so for all, but it's a huge deal for many people. So we may not remember the age or the year, but we'll probably say, yo, December 14th is so-and-so birthday and whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what constitutes friendship?
Let's start there.
Okay. Well, like the definition of friendship.
According to the website, joking, because I don't know.
I was just gonna say like friendship is just friends in a ship, but that probably isn't like clinically correct.
And then blind leading blind.
But it could be, and often they could be friends. Birds of a feather type stuff. A lot of animal metaphors.
Yeah. Friendship.
It's one of those things.
I'm not thinking about a clinical response.
Okay.
I think for me, a personal response, for me, friendship is this sacred bond between two or more persons who are able to respect and share love with each other, care about each other, and want to see to nourish each other. So we're probably not on the same level or have the same things in life or similar things, but because of the respect and love and all other things that I've said, you are able to support each other. You can be there for each other. It doesn't necessarily mean talking on the phone every day or messaging every day. But if I need you, can you show up in the best way that you can?
Yeah.
And it's genuine.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily you doing what I would do in a situation,
Right.
but you have allowed each other to be, right? And that can be celebrated.
Yeah.
So it's, if I'm supposed to simplify all of that, it is, in a friendship, you should feel seen and heard.
Yeah.
Right? It's to be seen, to be truly, genuinely seen, and to be truly, genuinely heard.
I'm glad that you can put it into words. I kind of struggle. It's almost like when you drive in
Bit
stick.
rough.
What?
Putting into words.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think I
difficult,
fully
Because
captured it.
that's exactly it. It feels like you can say like so much, but is it ever enough to really encapsulate like the reverie of friendship? And that's why like I was going to give you this metaphor of like when you're driving stick and then like you're shifting gears, there's like a certain click when it, what?
Continue.
Yeah, I don't know. Like when you're shifting gears and there's like this certain click where you can then move the gear stick, and it's like, but if you don't do it at that time, it just kind of stalls. It doesn't actually. It's the same kind of thing. There's a certain knowingness when there's a friendship, and I've been in those situations where I'm hanging out with someone, and all the hallmarks of friendship are there, but that click is not there.
Bond.
And the bond really is like quite shallow. And so what ends up happening is that you basically just kind of have this friendship that you start to see the cracks over time because no one can really keep up the impersonation of a friend for that long. And then eventually you start to say, you know, someone didn't know said this wasn't really a friendship. It never felt right.
Or your mother had a dream.
Mother had a dream.
Your grandmother had a dream. Or somebody warned you.
They pushed you off Pride Rock type stuff, yeah.
Right? Or somebody warned you to say, yo, when that's who feel the vibes of that person, you need to be careful.
Even though they were there for the birthday, even though they were there to listen to you, even though they were there for a whole bunch of things, something just wasn't right.
But, well, that I think brings us to recognizing that the quantity of years don't necessarily mean good quality.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't, man. But at the same time, it does take time. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you'll meet people and it's like an instant connection.
It's an instant click, yeah.
And then sometimes it's like a slow burn. It's different. Like all friendships are different. Like, you know, sometimes things move faster than others. Sometimes it's more instant than others. But sometimes they burn out quicker than others. So.
Yep. And I think that it's something that we need to pay attention to as adult males. I think it's important. Yes, I've heard, boy, I'm not like people, can't stand people. Or I'm an introvert, so I don't really go out and talk to people.
Which is not what introverts mean, but whatever.
It's not. Yeah. And me not like outside because of whatever reason.
It's hot.
And it's hot inside too. But that's another story, right? There are different things I've heard as to not having friends. People saying that they don't have friends.
Yeah.
But we are humans and we need some amount of connection, social connection. It's super important.
So why does it happen? Why do people fail to have friendships? There are several factors, of course, but...
Such as?
I mean, betrayal is a big one, bro. I mean, I think there are like...
Yeah,
there's like a lot of people going for scarce resources. Whether it's actually scarce or it's perceived to be scarce is a different thing. But, you know, people fall out because of the gal thing. People fall out because of money. People fall out because of, yo, you bad mind me. People fall out because of just how they were raised. It's like, yo, I interpret what you're doing as disrespect. thus I must now end the friendship of 39 years. And so you then really think like, so the 38 years was what?
Which there's a word, it came to me when we were talking about quality versus quantity, right? That's this whole concept of loyalty.
Mm.
As a friend, there should be loyalty.
Yes. Yes.
And to some extent, I agree. I agree. But but loyalty should be coming from a good space internally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that loyalty is shown through genuine support, love, care, all those wonderful things I gave when in my attempt at a definition of friendship. But I feel like for some of us, the loyalty is toxic. Should I say toxic?
Sure. Yeah.
Right? Because it's
Loyalty to what?
there is malice, there is jealousy, there is greed, there is bad mindism. There's a lot of things there that is just that corrupts that whole concept. And so it begs the question, can't you see the cracks as you mentioned, or people are just such good actors, right? Because time and time again, I've seen where persons there's a friendship, and one person goes all out.
Oh, yeah.
And the other person is not reciprocating, and I'm not saying that they're able to do the thing just as or similarly are able to put in similar effort or match the effort, but there is the jealousy or there's some snarky comments being made, and it does make you, in my opinion, it can make you question. But again, some persons will say, well, I didn't see that coming. You thief my girl, man, how you feel of that?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Or you mentioned having, based on how you're grown or your individual mindset, well, yeah, but thief your girl because more you say, what kind of girl you deal with.
Yeah, there's that too.
But that's messed up.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a really backwards way of like trying to have your cake and eat it too. Like I'm trying to be a good friend by being a bad friend, that kind of thing. But but you see, again, it depends on how the person goes about it, because it's like they could show that the person is like, the girlfriend or whatever is unfaithful without actually like doing something. If they go and do something, then it's like, bro, you did want to smash. Don't pretend like, you know what I'm saying? I know you're going to come back acting like you're my friend. So, yeah.
So, now, read the friendship thing. I have had conversations with young adults, males and females too. This one is not gender specific. It's difficult to make friends as adults. That's a statement.
Yeah.
Once you enter the working world, and that has another conversation about friends or your colleagues or your coworkers are not your friends. So that's another conversation. But once you enter the working world, it's difficult for you to make friends. And when you roll it back, when you're in school, it's easier to make friends because you're all in one place. You have this shared location. You're all in class. A group of you don't like a particular teacher, right? Or you like a subject.
Or your skull class.
Together. There's a few, not just one thing, but a few things that will keep you all together.
Yeah.
And you will talk about things, you will do homeworks together, study together, look girls together, badmouth a teacher together.
But the problem is that when that context changes, does the bond last? Sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. I know for me, I still have friends from high school. We don't always talk often, but we link up and talk and check in from time to time.
Okay.
Probably not have long conversations, but we do
Okay.
sometimes. But life gets busy too. Everybody goes off into their different branches, and life out here.
Yeah.
Right? So there's a lot, and some persons are no fathers, some men are no fathers, some of us aren't fathers, but it doesn't mean that you don't have other responsibilities. You do.
True.
As work, and you're probably helping to take care of your parents too, and things of that nature.
The only problem is that I feel like when those other responsibilities come up, friendship tends to go on the back burner. Those friendships then stay on that back burner, and then it's like, you know, you're 32, 33, 35, 40, and then you're like, where are my friends?
Who am I?
Or, well, that too. Who am I? Like, I'm just like this person that just plays this role of dad or
caretaker,
accountant or whatever, you know. But in terms of just like the people I spent my foundational years with, I've now lost touch with these people, and now I need an environment, or I need someone to kind of lean on that isn't the person that's sleeping in the same bed as me, like my sexual partner, or colleague at work, or in-law, or whatever.
Or not having anybody.
Or not having anyone at all.
Looking around, because you have your there's still a colleagues, and the workplace has an EAP, which includes access to psychologists, therapists, counselors. Not using that. You have your wife, sweetheart, girlfriend, or a combination of all three. You're not talking to them. Your parents or your siblings, you're not talking to them. Your in-laws,
Well, there's that too.
you're not talking to them. You can talk to your children. So loneliness steps in the picture. Okay? You are not alone physically because there are persons around you, but there's a sense of loneliness. You alone in this big wide world, and I'm sure it's not a good feeling.
No, I mean, I can't say I know what that feels like. I am fortunate to have friends. But in terms of like people I have spoken to who don't have friends, you know, what they may have are like more shallow friendships.
Very shallow.
Like basically acquaintances. It's like, yo, you're good, yeah, mama, good, but you don't know anything about them, and they don't know anything about you. And it could be like a question of like, again, I don't really want to get too close, and then like it explains why some of these guys also struggle to get into intimate romantic relationships, committed relationships, because it's like, I don't want to get too close. If you get too close to people, then there's that hedgehog's dilemma where it's like, okay, we're trying to get warmth, but you got your pricks, I got my pricks, or you're a prick and I'm a prick. And so as a result, it's like, I don't want you and your little bristles to stab me to death.
I'm getting close.
Right. But the irony of hedgehog's dilemma is that the hedgehogs do find a way to get close, because it is more important to find out how to cooperate and find the warmth together without stabbing each other to death.
But the hedgehogs, their spikes aren't always up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So they only go up when they feel threatened, right? So therefore, if we're using that, and you have your spikes up all the time,
you gonna stab everybody.
Check your trauma levels.
You know, I didn't know that. I thought hedgehogs always had the quills up.
No, man. They only go up when they feel threatened.
Right. See that?
Yeah.
There you go.
So check your trauma levels. If you're always in that fight or flight mode, then
especially the fight,
we need to have a conversation.
Yeah. So I think the metaphor holds for sure. The fact of the matter is that a lot of these guys have a difficulty getting close, but they're often, I think, getting close to people who also have their quills up. They don't actually go to anyone who has their quills down. And if you think about it, even if they try to, if I have my quills down and you have your quills up, why on earth would I welcome you in? Because you're gonna stab me. I can't stab you, so you'll definitely get the warmth.
Or they get close to the person without who has their quills down, and they end up stabbing them, and then that person becomes a hedgehog.
Yeah, that's true. Then they also get their quills out, and now it's toxicity.
So
Yeah.
so yeah. But then for those persons who move on to university, they would have their own they can form friendship groups, and that could last. It may not, but so it goes back to your point about the questioning questioning the longevity of these bonds. But that means there needs to be intention.
There has to be, because I'll be honest with you. Like sometimes, like people might not necessarily start off like, oh yes, I intend to have a friend in third grade,
Oh hell no!
right?
Especially in adulthood, like I made friends with some people that it's I didn't. The intention wasn't to make friends. It just happened.
Right.
There's just something that there's something that you bond over. There's oh, you like going to plays? Oh, cool. You like the arts? Oh, nice. Let's have a conversation. And from there, it builds. But there's that push on both sides. The reciprocity. Versus, oh, it's just one person pushing, trying to, oh, that person seemed cool, and then the other person is, there's like this wall there. And then I've had cases where we never like each other at the start. Well, it's not on my side. The person never liked me.
Okay.
For whatever reason. Right? I'm a peach. Right? But the person never liked me. But we spent time where there was a situation where we had to spend time with each other and interact with each other and work on some on an activity and at an event, and the friendship started.
Oh, that's nice. That's good. That does happen. I think. Well, actually, let me ask you. Like in that context, was it where they literally like just like confessed? You know, someone never rate you, or did that come after?
That came because I was unaware. As I was unaware, we were introduced to say, okay, you guys, there's going to be this event, and you guys will kind of have to work together to help to manage things, right? And I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. And while we're at the event and we're talking, this is like a week, probably multiple weeks, but within the first week, like we just started talking. I know what really started the friendship was there was no BS.
Okay.
In terms of getting to know each other.
Just honesty.
There's just 100% honesty from the start in terms of who we were and what we were about, and then we were seeing each other in the space and stuff. And that was good.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
And then afterwards, the person said, "You know, I never like you." Like, what? What am I doing?
Interesting. I'm gonna give a bit of a contrast story, which does dovetail back into the first part of the topic, unfortunately, but I think it's important to kind of illustrate a point. So, had a friend back in the day, but at the same time, the question of friendship was always a question, really, because like we got along fine, and I was able to defend them whenever they found themselves in like some kind of disagreement with somebody or something never work out. You're there to console them.
You broke your nose?
Huh?
You broke somebody's nose?
No, not no. I didn't have to get confrontational like that. I probably get suspended or something. So, it was just like, yo, dog, don't worry about that, bro. You'll bounce back, right? That kind of thing. But the challenge with them was that it was kind of their approach to life. Because I could see how we could have been friends or better friends, but what ended up happening was just more like, I see how you approach people and I see how you try to navigate through life. It's not conducive to what he was doing was just not conducive to like a positive ending. And so what I would see over the years is just like a growing deterioration with him. And even though like you try to extend the friendship, he couldn't really take it. He did find other friends who kind of fit him more, but unfortunately they kind of had a volatility as well. And so now kick off and is Premier League. And so as a result, there was a strain there. Familial issues were also there, and there was something that happened that, admittedly, yes, it would have like affected like a lot of people, but it affected him so much that he ended up taking his own life. And so I remember thinking to myself like, I don't want to minimize the why, but I don't think that it's just because of this. It's everything that came before. And I'm not sure how his friendships were at that time. I knew that there was like some strife and some distance and some reconciliation, then some strife, then some distance, then some reconciliation. And so it was something that, like I'll think about them every now and then, and I just kind of like max out like, yeah, you can do your best as a friend, but you have to be a friend to yourself. I think, you know what I'm saying. It's kind of meta to kind of be like, how am I going to befriend myself? It kind of goes back to like, how do you love yourself? But I think this dude, like, he constantly put pressure on himself, constantly. And so if you do that and you think that that makes sense, you may find people who put pressure on you, not know how to deal with that, or end up befriending them, or end up dating them, or is there someone in your family that's like that? And then you just maintain the pressure, and it might actually just lead to depression. So, like I one thing about depression that is a little like awkward to talk about is that there's somewhat of a positive spin in the sense that it kind of helps you to go within and kind of listen to yourself more. But when you like call it, when you find yourself doing it reflexively, and you're spending so much time doing it, it starts to become like more negative because you're not taking care of yourself as much. You're not eating as much, or you're eating too much, or you're sleeping too much, or you're sleeping too little.
Interesting, because you're spending a lot of time internally, spending a lot of time there, but you do not have the resources to combat and to come back outward.
Exactly. Right? Because you're still like hung up on the bad thing that happened, which caused you to kind of shrink within yourself, take time away from people, so you block out the noise. Like, in a weird way, it's like it could have been good.
So true learning doesn't take place.
It can't. It can't, because you're constantly seeing this as bad, as bad, as bad. And you're not like in the mindset of like, what can I learn from this? It goes back to what you're saying. How can I fix this? How can I change this? How can I get away from this? How can I escape this?
Okay. So, question. how can we make friends?
Mm.
What are the benefits of friendship? I know we've been talking indirectly about them, but let's call it what they are, or name what they are.
Mm.
And I think the biggest benefit, if you have genuine friendships, then one of the biggest benefits you have is connection.
Absolutely. If that's not number
Genuine,
one.
healthy connection. And as Dr. Kai Morgan Campbell always says, connection is the antidote to trauma.
Mm.
Connection is the antidote to, I think, many things. Many things. Because when you look at adverse situations, the fact that there are persons there offering support, they may not understand, they will not understand, they don't have to go through what you're going through, but the fact that they are genuinely there to love on you, to care for you, to support you,
Mm.
to be there with empathy does wonders, because you're able to recognize that you're not alone. You see, that recognition, I don't know if people,
They really meant that.
they really meant that.
Yeah.
I went through, there's a difficult patch that I went through last year, right? And when it happened, I sent a message to a few people,
Mm.
and one of my friends said, I don't know what was happening in your brain or how your brain works. It's admirable, because you compiled a well thought out, structured message about all that happened. Basically,
Bullet
laying
points.
out the incident, what happened, and where you are. But I was able to communicate that, and they showed up.
Nice.
They respected my wishes, which is another thing that I think we should talk about in friendships. That's boundaries,
Yeah.
right? But they checked in consistently, showed up, did for me what I couldn't do for myself in that instant.
Yeah.
Right? And it's because of that connection that I feel like it helped me through that situation. Right? And in terms of having friends where you can clearly state your boundaries. A no is a no. No, I'm not with that. I'm not gonna do that. And it's okay.
Yeah.
There's no pressuring into doing something that you don't feel comfortable doing. Now, pressuring is different from encouraging, because there's also that.
It's an important distinction, yeah. But one thing I would add, it's not like specifically related to that, but it is a part, I think, of friendship, is like the ability to having those tough conversations, like, interventions. It's not like necessarily an intervention per se, but it's like there's something that could hurt your feelings, but it would be remiss if I did not tell you, because I'm not interested in your self-destruction. I'm here for your growth. I'm here for your victory. And I think there's something here that will be a hindrance. And I need you to know this. If I'm wrong, hallelujah. But if I happen to be right, I want you to know this so we can deal with it, so you can deal with it, so you need help, whatever. This can be dealt with like as soon as possible, but also as calmly as possible. Because I think sometimes, and Stephen had made this point last episode, that sometimes people will speak to you with a certain harshness that lacks kindness, which then just like basically just vilifies you,
Right.
rather than actually like help you.
Edify.
Yeah, good word.
I agree with that completely. I just had another flashback moment. I was in undergrad, and again, I love my friends.
Mm.
I love my friends. I remember I wasn't feeling well. But then, we talked about take two Panadol, I'm good. Mm. So this happened, started for the weekend. By midweek, several of the Wednesday, they asked me, I think they asked, how you feeling? I said, I still feeling pain. I was on campus. Those come. We're going to health center. No, it's not a conversation. We're going to health center. And they walked me over to health center. They stayed there until I was seen and we were finished and whatever.
Nice.
And there are some follow-ups and followed up and everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it like serious or what was going on?
I'm alive and I'm well.
Okay. Enough said.
No, but at the time it was nothing life-threatening, guys.
Okay.
But the point is, when you allow people to be there for you and to show up in the way that probably not how you want them to, but how they needed to, it's absolutely important.
No, I totally agree. I feel like we could talk about this for like another hour. But to be specific, what would you say is like a key ingredient or maybe a few ingredients necessary to be a friend and therefore like attract friends?
Be a good person.
Be a good person?
Be a good person.
Okay, I mean that works.
Two persons who say, boy, I don't have any friends or it's hard to make friends. In order to be on the receiving end of friendship, you have to be willing to be a friend to somebody and to be open to the idea, I think, of friendship, but have an idea as to how you want your friendship to be. Because the friendship that I have with my friends, chances are will not be the same as others. And even with the different friendships that I have, how I am with this friend, maybe it's slightly different. It doesn't necessarily mean that one quality of friendship is better than the other. It's just that the dynamics is just slightly different, right? So have an idea as to the type of friendship that you want to have. The qualities, developing a spirit of discernment, because the sheep in wolf clothing analogy is very much applicable. Developing a spirit of discernment in terms of, is this person a good person? How do they not just treat me, but how do they treat others? Do the qualities that they have mesh well with the qualities that I have, or the qualities I want to develop?
Yeah.
Okay. I also think that there should be things in common where if there are things that you want to do, they should also try and, and vice versa. There's reciprocity in friendship. In my kind of friendships, we're not counting.
Not keeping score.
We're not keeping score. You're my friend. I'm your friend. I'm sure we'll go to the ends of the earth.
That's it.
For each other. Right? And so, be the friend that you want to be. If the person is not cutting it, then maybe this person is not the friend that you want. They may be somebody else may consider them a good friend. That's fine. You may not be the friend somebody wants, and so you may be the one to get cut off. So be it. Yeah. But we all need a friend. We all need a friend. And some persons may have 10, some persons may have 2. Don't wash the face. Everybody have a different range of social capacity. Yeah. That's fine.
I don't even think I could really say it better. I really don't, because it's like ultimately, if you are a good person, i.e., you're not just good to yourself, you're good to other people. you're encouraging these pro-social behaviors with people, right? When you're able to do that, you know what it looks like. So when you see other people doing it, it's like, oh yeah, that's another potential friend. Now you may get close to that person and realize you don't really have much in common, in which case you might just be acquaintances. You respect them,
That respect, yeah.
right? And that is an insanely important criteria that I think a lot of people overlook these days because they're so afraid of being alone that they'll just like go for somebody
Anybody.
just so that they don't have to be alone, just so that them can say, oh yeah, I'm going out and you know I'm not like alone and stuff. And so basically it gets to a point where when you are able to really just like see the virtue in someone else, that respect is there, right? I think it even helps you to see the virtue within yourself because they'll see that virtue in you and they'll let you know in the same way you let it know, you tell them what you rate about them, and you just build up each other.
Builds up each other.
And it's like, no, you feel like, yo, I have a confidence that maybe I had confidence before, but now my confidence is even more because this external person is reflecting back to me my worth, my strengths, my mission, my values. And, you know, it's a beautiful thing because you then do not feel alone anymore. And it's just like, yo, this friendship thing kind of awesome.
Yep.
So it's disappointing when I hear like some of these songs. I think I spoke about it in the first episode, where you know you have some songs out there. It was like, yo, we can't trust nobody, not a friend again, and that kind of stuff. It's very disheartening to hear that. And again, that's why I don't minimize that. Yeah, I'm sure people have been betrayed.
Of course.
They had someone that genuinely was their friend. They had someone that genuinely cared about them. Them break bread together, them link up, them all a drink, whatever. It was genuine, but something changed, and now, or yeah, well, yeah, something changed, or there was something that was put to the test, and it just broke the other person, and so then it ended up like, yeah, the friendship was done, and there's a heartbreak there. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, again, you know, people will say that someone gay or whatever, but the reality is that it doesn't really matter, right? We're not going to like necessarily like hate on how anything sounds. The fact is that are you in pain because this person did what they did? That's all that actually matters. So yeah.
And then the other thing, when there's a heartbreak, you know, I've had to cut off people, but nobody will ever be able to get certain dirt, quote unquote, out of me on this person. There's no need for that.
That loyalty just kind of stays intact even then.
And I think bigger than loyalty is just respect. I just respect this person as a human being.
Yeah.
That at that point, they trusted me enough to share this experience with me, and that's all that it needs to be. It stays there.
Ethical guidelines.
Right? And I think more of that, the whole backbiting type of thing in friendships and using it to cuss out people and gossiping and all that just needs to stop. So I feel like if anything, anybody should take away from this episode, man, be a friend to each other. Please check in with each other. Check in with each other, please. Seriously. As I said when we started June, we celebrated Male Mental Health Awareness Month. In September, we'll be celebrating World Suicide Awareness Day. I think that's September 10. And in November 19th, we celebrate Men's Day. Let's not limit our conversations or actions to just these days. but let's care about our health just generally as men always and be more proactive about caring for ourselves and our brothers. All of us have value, all of us are important. So let's do what we need to do, take care of ourselves, and be good people.
Well said. Well said.
Right. All right.
Oh wait, you don't want to like sign off?
Hold on.
Oh.
So before we go,
Yeah.
so we're trying out different things here, and I think it's important that we big up our colleagues and ourselves when it's time. So our colleague Janelle A. Brooks, she is a counseling psychologist here in Jamaica. She created this book, Metamorphosis, a practical guide to mental and emotional transformation. People. Yes, there are things to read, but it's a workbook. And let me tell you something. When it's a workbook, it's a workbook where it allows you to delve within and to do some self-exploration, and it promotes self-growth. This, as the name suggests, metamorphosis is change, changing from within. Ask you some really tough questions, and look, if you do it, let's say you do it tomorrow, you probably have some. You're going to answer in a particular way. Some of it may need to take some time to answer, because you probably put it up because you're like, Lord Jesus, this is too much of an
Too deep.
Right. That's fine, by the way. But let's say you take up this book again and you do the same exercises 6 months from now, a year from now, your answers probably will be different.
The clarity will emerge.
So invest in this book. You can find it on Amazon.
Amazon, yeah.
Right.
But it's also at the offices of KAD.
It's
Morgan
also
and
at
Associates.
the office of Dr. KAD Morgan and Associates, right? Which is at 68 Lady Musgrave Road, Kingston 10. And you can get a copy from us. And yeah, invest in yourself. You won't lose, all right? All right, so we spoke about
Suicide and friendship.
connection.
Yeah, that's the
Keeping connected.
Yeah.
So in order to keep connected with us, follow us on KAHLE Journey YouTube. That's where you'll be watching this. Follow us on TikTok, KAHLE Journey, as well. You'll also see us on KDM Psych Associates on TikTok, Dr. KD Morgan, Dr. KDM Psych Associates on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We did a whole bag of things. With the research, we do therapy, psychological assessments, workshops, facilitations,
podcast.
group work, podcasts, writings. We do enough things, right? So just reach out to us, follow us on all socials, just to keep tabs with what we're doing. On our socials, we're also sharing a lot of tips, a lot of little bites here and there that are very much helpful in varying ways. So stay tuned. The only thing else I have left to say is like, share, subscribe, comment on this. Let's keep the conversation going. Who is a friend to you? What is friendship to you? Answer those questions. And if you have questions for us, let us know. Write into us, and we can probably answer them on here. Right?
Yeah, we'd love to.
Let's make it more interesting. Alright, so until next time, I'm Verol Billett.
I'm Jason Henry.
And see you soon.